Hey busy friends, welcome to my channel, welcome to my new channel. You are watching my second channel and it is called the Busy Housewife Paper Terrace. No, wait. Before you make a hasty decision to click off this channel, yes, this channel is all about the paper. Not this kind, but paper. And we're going to be making different decorations throughout this channel for every season, for everyday fun, whatever, using paper. So I'm going to show you on this channel, the Busy Housewife Paper Cottage, I'm going to show you how to turn these four pieces of paper into beautiful, wonderful decoration. And now we're going to start with like Christmas in July. So those four pieces of paper are going to turn into something like this. It is paper. And I just dropped it and it's paper. So if this is something that you are interested in and you want to find out more of how we can make wonderful decorations out of paper, stay tuned and subscribe to this channel as well. It'll really help me out, and I will also link my first channel, The Busy Housewife, in the description box as below, as well as the SVG for this Christmas ornament. I will link this down in the description box below as well. Now, I am an affiliate with Creative Fabrica, and that's where I got this SVG. So you could either go ahead and use my link and buy the whole subscription for the whole year, and you would get stuff like this for free because you're paying for the subscription. Or if you're like, well, I just want to buy a la carte, that's fine too. I will leave the description or I will leave the link to buy this one in the description box below. And look, it's pretty big. It's pretty nice size. I will leave the link to this one in the description box below. This one also comes in a bundle of 2 other Christmas ornaments made out of paper. And I will also leave that one with this ornament and the other 2 in the description box below. If Creative Fabrica is something that you are wanting to explore, Creative Fabrica doesn't just do images and fonts. It does a lot of other things. There's classes, and we will go ahead and get into that in a later video. I will show you all the wonderful things that Creative Fabrica does. But for now, we're going to turn these 4 pieces of paper into the Christmas ornament that I just showed you. So, welcome to the Paper Cottage. Bye. Okay, so this is what the 4 pieces of paper have turned into. These right here are the 2 main pieces, and this is going to be what the ornament is. Okay, and if you can see, don't know if you guys can see, but there are little score marks all over. Now, my cutting machine is a Cricut maker. When I downloaded this from Creative Fabrica as an SVG, I uploaded it to Cricut. I learned the hard way, and I'm telling you guys this because I learned the hard way, is that it came out as a cut instead of a score. So all you have to do is go to where it says cut, do the drop down, and then just do score, and then realign everything. And so that's how it is. So these are the main pieces. These are the side panels. So we have 4 of these ones. 4 side panels. We have these 4 as well as the side panels. And we have this crazy thing. I know what you guys are thinking. What the heck? Yeah, that's that's what I thought too. We're going to put this together first, and then you guys will see what it is. As well as we have 4 of these things that look like sunglasses. They're the bows. These are the tails to the bows. And then these are the middle. These are the middle for the bows. So we're going to start with the creepier, scarier one first, because everything I understood until this one. So these also, you can probably see them a little bit better, but these also have score lines on them. So we're just going to push them down. And the score lines work very well. Now, you could do this ornament any way you want to. Any way you want to at all. Not as far as putting it together, but any paper you want. So in the beginning, I showed the gold one. This is going to be a silver and pink one. And then there's a score line right here. There's a score line right there. Score line right there. Score line right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. As well as on top here. And then these score lines, we're just going to push them out this way. We're not going to push them in because I need them out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a bit of glue. Now I'm using Aleene's Tacky glue. You can use any glue that you like. Everybody has their preferences on glue. Glue is glue. And so what we're going to do is we are going to take this and we are going to line it up like that. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue here. Spread it all the way out. And then we are going to line it up just like that. Press down. It is flush. Now you want to be careful not to get glue on the sparkles on the glitter paper because it will show up. So just be very careful with that. So now that that is done, we are going to push in these tabs. Just push them all in as much as you can. And then that will sit like that. And because it's paper, it's molding. Oh, it came loose. See, this is what happens when you have glitter paper. But the glitter paper in the end is actually very quite beautiful. I mean, the golden white one is absolutely gorgeous. So you just pick 4 pieces of paper that you like, that you say, hey, this goes together very well. And then you just make a wonderful little Christmas ball out of it, or Christmas ball. So now that that is, yep, that is glued down good. What we're going to do now is just put a little bit of glue on each little tab. Just like that. A little rag. And then what we're going to do is we are going to shape and mold just like that. So now what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's lining up. See how this is like a little octagon shape? You want to make sure that it is lining up with each little tab. This one's popped out a little bit. Oh, so it's really hard with the glitter, but it's really worth it, and it's quite beautiful with it. Because the glitter, it's glitter paper, and it doesn't really want to cooperate as well. So I'm just going to put it down here on the table a little bit and make it cooperate, because that's how we roll in this channel. it's paper. So we have to, okay. What you can do is when it's there, just flip it over and then press it from the inside as well. Ugh. Yeah. I had the same problem a little bit with the gold one as well. Again, because it's glitter. And so we just have to hold it in place until it wants to set. And that's why we got this one done first. We got this one done first because it's a little bit more on the pain in the butt. And then once everything else is put together, then it actually goes quite smoothly. Okay. Just make sure everything is pushed down and looking good. Okay, so now can you tell what it is? It is the top of the ball. The Christmas ornament. That's what it is. And it's just going to sit there. So we're going to finish this off by using some cord. And I'm thinking of using this pink and silver cord because I think that will be absolutely adorable because it is a pink and silver ornament. We're just going to cut off a little piece. This is kind of unraveling here in the beginning, so we'll just cut this off a little bit. Boom. So we'll cut that off. And then we'll do about 12 inches, maybe a little less. Because what we are going to do now is we are going to shove this one in, and then we're going to shove this one in. And then we are going to make sure they are lined up just fine. And then we are going to tie it. Just like that. Now again, you could use any cord. This cord is a little bit on the more difficult side to use. Yeah. A little bit more on the difficult side, but it's pretty, and sometimes having to deal with a little bit more difficulty will be worth it. So there's that. Then we just go ahead and pull this through. And if you wanted to, just for good measure, I did do this with the last one, is to make sure it didn't unravel. I just put a little dab of hot glue in the knot. Just in the knot. And then you won't see any of that. And the end is unraveling. So you won't see any of that at all. So that part is done. Now we are going to move on to the bows. So that part is done. So now you have the bows. Now this, you could do one-sided paper. I did two-sided paper, but we are going after this one. You can see that there's score marks here in the in the middle, as well as on the corners. So with these, if you bend them, you're going to, because we need these to look like bows. So if you bend them, you're going to have problems. The paper can crack. It can do pretty much whatever. Now we're just going to bend those. These score marks are not for scoring. They're for basically lining up. But, and I learned this from Leo. He's the one who works for Dreaming Tree that has this on Creative Fabrica. He also has a YouTube channel where he shows you his step-by-steps. His video for this ornament will also be linked in the description box below. And he's the one who's taught me this, is you just train the paper and then you won't have any, and I did it the wrong way. He did not teach me that. No, I was doing it the right way. Yeah. So this bow is going to be all kinds of crazy. So you just go like that. And I'm leaving my mess ups in the video as well because I'm not perfect. I never want to be perfect. That just is too much of a job to be perfect. So you see how it's like that. So now when you bend it over, so you put paper on the, or you put glue on the bottom, just a little bit, and then you rub it in. And then we are going to put it down at the bottom and then just hold it there in place for a little bit. And you'll see, because you trained the paper, that there is no crease, that it's not creased or anything like that. Because when you do that, you have to hold it just a little bit longer than normal, because it's going to want to go back to its natural form. And then you take the other piece, put a little bit of glue on it, now if you use a lot of glue, your paper will warp and everything like that, because we are working with delicate paper. And then we are just going to put that. And we just got to hold it there for a little bit. Maybe I should put just a little bit more glue on there. And to shape the flower, or shape the bow just a little bit more. Just, okay, this one bent a little bit. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, we're good. We're good. So then there's that. Then we take this piece, and you can choose what side you think is prettier. I think this side is a little bit prettier. So we're going to make this side our front side. Yeah. And then we're just going to take it, flip it over like that. And then we are going to put a little bit of glue. Flip it over. And then just hold it in place for a little bit. Okay, and then now we have the little bow, but we're not finished with the bow. We have the little tail. And so you see there's a flat part right here on the tail. And what we're going to do is we are just going to line up the tail with the flat part right there on the top of the bow. So now we're just going to take a little bit more glue. There's a bee outside trying to get in. Okay, so now we just take that little flat part and then glue it down. Hold it in place for just a moment. And what's good about this glue is you can move it around and get it exactly where you want it. And that is exactly what we did. So now we have a little bow. Okay, I'm going to pause the camera for a little bit, and then I'm going to do the rest of these, and then I will go ahead and pop back on and do that, so that way you guys don't have to watch me do all the bows. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, so now that we have all the bows done, and we have the top done, now what we're going to do is we are going to focus on the main. These come at a later time. So now we're going to focus on the main ornament itself. So you want to find what we're going to do, just to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. We are going to go and fold all the score marks. Yeah, we're going to fold the score marks. Now this paper is a thicker paper, and it is textured. So there's that score mark, there's that score mark. And then we'll just go to this score mark. And then we're going to go to the next score mark. And we're going to just do this for both pieces all the way down. All the way down, just like that. And then we're going to go here. And then we're going to go here. Oops. And then we're going to go, so this has a little tab right here. Push that tab down, and then pull that tab, and then this little tab goes down. And then this little tab, and then right here, this tab. So with the thicker paper, if you have a Cricut, I don't know about the other cutting machines, I have a Cricut. With that, just put more, oh, we need to do this. With that, just put, instead of default pressure for your score, you could put more, and it'll make it a lot easier. I'm not sure if I put more on this one. I don't think I did. The glitter paper, I did put more pressure on instead of default, because it's glitter paper, you know. And then that score line, and then this score line right here, and then that one, that one, that one, and then score line there, and score line here. Another thing is with these two pieces, when you upload it to Cricut, they're going to put it on two separate sheets. Now you can take the sheet and put it up and then just make it to where it's on one sheet, so you're not using two sheets, you're using one sheet and you're not wasting paper. That's exactly what I did, is instead of it being 1, 2, having 5 total mats, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I just used 4 because I moved the bottom one up to the top and just adjusted it a little bit, so that way it's less paper being wasted and more paper available for more paper crafts like this. And then we are just going to go on the score line here, because it is much easier and much better if you just fold it all on the score lines. Oh, and I missed some score lines on that one. Yeah, I did. But that's okay. We'll fix it. Everything will be fine. There we go. Okay. And then that one, that one, that one, and that one. And so I love how the gold one turned out. And anybody who knows me knows that I don't have a color that I don't like. I think every color is pretty, and even if it's not pretty by itself, it can be pretty. But one of my most favorite colors is pink, and which is strange because when I was growing up, I really did not like the color pink for some reason. And then as I grew older, the pink just grew on me to where I actually had a pink car. It was a pink show car, and it won trophies and awards and everything like that. And so, yeah. And now, for some reason, just the last couple of years, I've also liked the pink Christmas decorations. But most of my Christmas decorations are gold and red and green. So, that is just how it is. That's why I did the gold one. And of course I will hang these on my Christmas tree this year because number one, they're pretty. Number two, you really can't tell that they're paper. And number three, one of my best memories is when my kids were growing up and we did handmade Christmas ornaments and hung them all over the tree. And I still have that tree because it just holds a lot of good memories. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to see how they both have tabs. Well, we are going to do it where it's like that. So this tab is going to be on this one that does not have a tab on the bottom, or on the, you see what I'm saying? This one doesn't have a tab. This side does have a tab, and that is exactly where it's going to go. And what we do is we just line up this part to this score. Okay, so this straight line is going to be lined up with this score. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue on there. Make sure you get all the way to the edges. All right, there's that. And we're not going to do these tabs yet. We're just focusing on getting everything lined up for this right here. So, and it's a very awkward shape, so that's always fun. But like I said, it is worth it. So, lining it up. Ugh, this shape is really crazy. Okay, line it up. Okay, we're gonna line it up right there. And then take the rest of it and then just line it up. Very good. Okay. That's where it's got to be. We just flip it over, press down on it a little bit, rub it out, make sure all that glue, and because I was doing that, it shifted. That's okay. The glue is still wet enough to where, there. So if you get a little bit of glue or anything like that out here, that's fine. We're going to cover it with the panels. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take this little tab, put a little bit of glue on it, and pull it under. And hold it in place. Okay, and then we're going to do that with all of the little tabs. So tab, line up, hold. Oh, that one didn't have enough glue. You don't want too much glue, and you don't want like barely any glue, because you don't want your project to warp. And then, yeah, it's trying to go back to its original. So yeah, you just gotta hold it a little bit longer. Okay, and then moving on to the next tab. Right there. Get some glue on it. Spread it out. And then glue it. This one is really not wanting to cooperate too well. All right, there's that one. And then on to the next little tab. And then hold it in place. Oh, and then we are here to this big tab. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put some glue on this big tab. And then we are going to, again, take this line that is straight and line it up with the score mark on this other piece. We're going to do that right there and hold that part in place, and then just slowly now, it's just an awkward shape. It really is. So there's that. And it seems like everything is good. Oh, it slid. It slid, guys. Okay, now it's back. Now it's back. Okay, it wants to keep sliding. So I just gotta be patient with it. We just got to be careful. So now, gotta slide it back this way. There we go. Now this is something that Leo is also taught, and it's very, it's very genius. So there's a little gap right there at the top. There's a little gap right there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take some scrap paper. We're just going to take a little piece of scrap paper. We're going to leave that around here. And what we're going to do is, because that little gap is not good, we're going to take a little bit of glue. And we're just going to shove the glue with the gap right there and then put it in place. And then there won't be a gap. So again, the outside of this is not going to matter much. And so now we got to take this tab. Take this tab and we are going to put some glue on it. Let's get it. And then we are going to do that. And then just hold it there for a little bit. And then we are going to take this little tab, do the same thing. And glue it and hold it there for a bit. Ugh, it wants to keep moving. Yeah, so it wants to keep going back to its original form. And we are not allowing it to do that. And that's fine, because once it's all glued and the glue is dry and the panels are on, it is going to be worth it, guys. It really is. And so we just got to be a little bit more patient than normal, especially with the paper crafts. And let's do that. And then hold it in place. Okay. And then the last little tab on here, and then we're going to start with the big ones. Okay. The other thing I didn't do is I didn't bend down these ones. Should have did that before, but no big deal. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to start gluing these big tabs. to each other. And just making sure that they're lining up with the score lines. Okay. And then to the next one. Gotta make sure you get it on all of the tab. Otherwise, your project could fall apart, and who really wants that? I mean, I wouldn't. Okay, next tab. And we're almost done with the main part, the actual structure of the bulb or ball. I don't know why, I always call them bulbs. I don't know why. I think I heard it as a kid and it just stuck. Christmas bulb. Okay. Make sure it's lined up perfectly. And then just hold it there in place. Now, the more glue you use, the more it's going to warp and the more you'll have to hold it. Now, on some parts, I did use more glue than wanted, but it is what it is. Okay, there's that. Now this one. Okay. And now on to the next tab, and we are going to do that until finished. You're like, yeah, we know, Jess, dirt. Hey guys, this is my first one filming this. Now the gold one was done off of camera only because I needed to see how to upload the files and what to expect, because this is the very first time that I'm actually doing something like this. So yeah. And so my gold one that I have sitting here is my prototype. And there's some flaws on it, but it's still pretty. And it's still doable. It'll still go on the Christmas tree. Uh-oh. This one slid. Okay, 2 more, and then just that. Okay, so now we have 2 more. 3 more. So we have 3 more. I know how to count. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, now the last one. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this little dowel and we are going to hold it in place like that, because we can't get our hold it in place like that because we can't get our hands in there anymore to hold things in place. So we'll just use the dowel. Okay. Same with this one. Just make sure everything is good. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finish it off by these little tabs. Yeah, by these little tabs. So we're just gonna pull them out. Take this little tab. And hold that in place. And then the next one. Hold it in place. And then just go right on down the line, just like that. hot glue. And so here, this last one, we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the paper. And we are going to spread it all around on that wonderful tab. And then we will stick our finger right there and then hold it. So the outside, because it's white, there's a little bit of glue marks here and there. That is absolutely okay, because you're not going to see it. So this is what the ornament looks like. This is the base of the ornament. This will go on the top just like that. So yeah. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to decorating it. And what we're going to do is we have these 4 panels and we have these 4 panels. Well, we have to train them. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to train them. And this is what gives it that round look without, so you won't see that. So it'll look rounded and not octagon shape. And you'll also notice on these panels that we have a flat side and a pointy side. The pointy side will be facing down. And so we're going to do this to all 8 pieces, all 8 panels. And then making it your own. Well, you already made it your own by choosing the different papers that you would like. I chose these papers and glitter paper, because glitter paper is just beautiful. It really is. Okay, now since they are all trained, because what happens with paper, and it doesn't matter what kind of paper, any paper, when you bend it, it'll get a crease. And so doing this actually helps it out a very, very lot. I know that's not a word, guys. I know. I'm just a little excited. All right, I'm showing you guys something new. All right, so now we are going to put some glue on this panel and this panel. We're going to not put glue on the middle. We don't want that part glued down. We want it to stay puffy. And we are going to start with the bottom. The skinnier little pointy one goes on the bottom. Line it up just right. And then just push that down a little bit. Now, we don't like the gaps or anything like that, and that is fine. Here is going to be a little bit of gap, but it's going to be covered with other pieces of paper. So we can stick the... Now with any gaps that we don't like, we just take our little handy dandy scrap paper right there. And paint it on and push it down. This is a trick that Leo taught, and I was like, that is a genius, actually. That's genius. Okay. So we got the first one down. There's a little bit of gap right there. And yes, there is glue all over my hands. My wet rag isn't doing that much. Okay, so that is the first one. So now we are going to go with a pink one. And we are going to do the same thing. We are going to put glue all over this panel. Make sure we do get the edges. Put it up on top. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do better. Okay, and then now the pink goes down right there at the edges. Make sure there's no gaps. Pull it down just a little bit. And then put it on over there. My goodness. There we go. Okay, yeah, that is not working very well. So don't get a wet wipe. They don't work with glue. They, I think, make it worse. So then we are just going to and then we're going to need another silver one. Okay, it goes all the way to the edge right there. All right, silver one now is going down. And then bring it up to the top. The main thing is to make sure you get it around the edges, because you don't want the edges to pop up. And so that was a silver, so now we're going to do a pink. And then bring it up and over just a little bit. Okay. And now we're going to do another silver. So another silver. Make sure the bottom is the bottom. And this one didn't go all the way down to the bottom. The glue didn't. Kind of need that to do that. And then make sure it's aligned with the scoring marks. And then okay. And then we're going to have 2 more to do, and then we are being able to do some fun stuff to this cute little ornament. Got a little bit of glue on that one. That's not happy. Yeah, we're gonna have to go around and fix some stuff. All right. And then that's gonna go there. Okay. With the paper stuff, you gotta be a little bit more patient. It is. I'll fix all the gaps a bit later. This is the last piece. Okay, the last panel is going on now. Make sure all the sides are down. Let's do that. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. I am gonna have to go in and fix some gaps. There's a lot of gaps all over. And it's okay. We could fix them. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. So it's just a little time consuming. I believe it's because of the glitter paper, but it is what it is. Okay, now there's more gaps right there. Oh, right there. Okay, that looks like it's all the gaps. Perfect. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Not too shabby, not too shabby. So what we're going to do now is we are going to do this. And so this right here will not be seen. We are just going to show that whole thing in there, just like that. And then we can pull it up. Okay. And then now what we're going to do is we are going to pull up a tab. And lay it down. What we're going to do is we're going to go on the opposite side. You could put a little bit of glue on the inside of the lid just to hold it in place. But let's take this glue. Pull it down, hold it in place. And then we'll do this one. I wonder if I have enough glue on my finger. And then we'll do this one. Pull that tab up. Okay. And then we'll do this one. And then this one. And that's just what we're going to do. We're just going to do each one on a side. Make sure it's staying down. Okay. Okay, so now the top is on. And then what we're going to do is we are going to grab this silver ribbon, and we want to see, so yeah, we'll probably, like, where's the worst gap that I cannot fix? I think it's right here. So we'll make that the back. I'm just gonna chop off this little tiny bit. And right here, I'm gonna use hot glue. Just a little dab of hot glue to start. We're gonna put it in the middle because you're not gonna see the seam. Okay, that was a little bit more hot glue than I intended. Dang hot glue gun. Okay. We're not gonna see the seam here because, again, this is where we're gonna put the bows. But I just wanna make sure that we stay straight as possible. So then right about there, I'll put another little dab of hot glue. And the phone is ringing.
Call from Steve Hendricks.
Okay. We're gonna have to do this. Okay. It's kind of funny because nobody calls the house phone at all. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a little video where I'm not going to do a voiceover. I'm actually going to do it while I'm filming. And then guess what? Somebody wants to call the house phone. And I don't even know who that is. But my husband got it because he's wonderful. Okay. I put the hot glue a little too high on that one. Yep, that's what I did. And then I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to go ahead and just continue on around right there. Trying to keep it as straight, trying to keep the ribbon as straight as possible. I think I might be falling short a little bit. But that's okay because it's not perfect and it doesn't have to be. It's still pretty, it's still going to be loved, and it's still going to be hung on a Christmas tree, my Christmas tree. And at least with it being paper, I don't have to worry about it falling and breaking. That is the big plus. So also another thing while looking at it, what I should have done is I should have maybe done a little darker of a pink ribbon around it. But this is learning. This is a learning thing. Okay, somewhere my ribbon is falling. Yeah. Yeah, so the ribbon is absolutely not... Oh man, ripped it. Okay, let's see if we can get it up just a little bit higher. Okay, so we ripped it, and that's one downfall of it, but we're not going to fit because we're going to cover it with the ribbon, because my ribbon was falling just a little short there. And now we are going to finish it up. Got to cut it right about there. And I don't mind leaving in the imperfections that I've done, because we're human. Anything we do is not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be trials and there's gonna be all this other stuff. And so I don't mind leaving in my flaws. I'm not ashamed of them. They shaped me who I am today, so it is what it is. And if you actually go to like big box stores and stuff like that, you can see the flaws in merchandise all the time. Okay. So now we got the ribbon just about all the way around, and got a little hiccup there. And now we're just going to put a little dab here. And we are going to finish that off. Yeah, so my ribbon started falling a little bit. It is what it is. I think the phone call flabbergasted me. So now what we're going to do is we are going to hot glue these little bows to the ribbon. Just like that. And we're going to do it on the silver. And then hot glue this bow. Well, I guess it's good because we're covering the silver ribbon up with the bows. And so the pink will be seeing the silver. So that's fine. That's fine. That's wonderful, actually. And then a little bit of hot glue here. Put this bow here. And then also, maybe the bows will distract the fact that the ribbon was falling. Hey, one can hope, right? One can hope. Okay, last bow. And then we get to move on to the fun part. Well, this was all fun, actually. No, don't do that. So now what we're going to do is we have this wonderful bow. We are going to make it our own. And how are we going to do that? Well, we are going to grab some pearls. So I did use pearls on the, and I need a smaller one like that. To cover up this little hole. So we're going to just put some hot glue on there. Just like that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to dig in and pull out some of these medium-sized ones. So I'm gonna need 8 of those, and they're mostly down at the bottom. So that's not one. We don't need the really tiny little one. Don't need the tiny little one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, those are really tiny ones. And 8. And what we're going to do is we are just going to put them on the little things. Now, I think I want them a little bit higher than what I did on the gold one. So I am just going to probably put a little dot right here in the middle. And then place it on there and move it around. There we go. And then place it right there in the middle. And we are almost done with this beautiful paper project. Okay, and then right about there. Okay, and then keep going all the way around it. Oh, I have an idea too, and we're gonna just see how it looks because we have bigger pearls in there. I don't know if it's going to be like, sorry guys if I was off camera. I know, I'm terrible. Okay, and then so just put it on there. I have tweezers, but I don't really feel like digging them out. I guess you guys can call me lazy. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to see how something looks real quick because we do have these bigger pearls. And I don't know if it's going to be like overkill, but what if we... No, I think that will look beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna need 4 of these bigger pearls. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, and then we will be done. The gold one does not have them. Does not have the big pearls. This is just something exclusive, strictly for the pink. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay. Sometimes little is a lot, and sometimes a lot is wonderful. True story, guys. True story. Okay. And then there we go. So it's the same thing, but different versions of it. So it's the same template and everything like that. It's just a different version of it. This one has extra pearls to where the gold one does not. And then there we go. There is the wonderful finished product. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys go ahead and try doing it yourself. Here is the final project for this one. It looks absolutely beautiful. All made out of paper except for the ribbon and the pearls. And then here is the gold one that I did earlier just to see if I could do it. Both of them wonderful. You could even put things in the middle of the bows if you decided you wanted to do that. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. So again, the templates for both of them, you can see it right there on the screen. The templates for both of them will be in the description box below. Of course, they're the same ones. They do have them a la carte, which you can get them by themselves, or you could go ahead and buy them in the 3-pack. This is just something that you can do. And I really like the pearls on the pink one, but I'm going to keep the gold one just the way it is. I'm not going to add the pearls. So yeah, if you liked this video, if you liked this content, please give it a like. Do have the comments. Please leave a comment. I do get back to the comments. I love interacting with all of you guys, as well as subscribe. This channel is new, so it's going to need your subscription. Please, it's free. It doesn't do anything. You don't have to type in anything. Just hit that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed to either this new channel, the Busy Housewife Paper Cottage, or the Busy Housewife, which is my other crafting channel where I do a lot of woodwork and stuff like that. This is strictly for paper, and I'm excited about exploring more stuff with paper. Subscribe to that. Both the link to the Busy Housewife will also be in the description box below, as well as the links to get these off of Creative Fabrica. I am a Creative Fabrica affiliate, so use the link to go there. If you buy the subscription, then it's all free to you. The classes and everything that Creative Fabrica has to offer is all free. And then, yeah, I will also link the Dreaming Tree, who designs these stuff. They have a lot. So who designs these stuff, I will also link their channel, their YouTube channel, in the description box below for these particular ornaments. So again, thank you so much for spending your wonderful time with me. I know it's very valuable, and I'm very happy that you spent it with me. Thank you so much for just being you guys, and until I see you on the next one, may God bless every single last one of you, and I appreciate you, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you on the next one. God bless. Bye.